Hello everyone, how's everyone doing today? So I have something that I wanted to do for you today, which is kind of a tour, kind of end of year type tour of my plants. If I remember correctly, I don't think I've actually done a tour before. So I wanted to kind of take you guys around and show you all the plants that I have. Hopefully I can get this done pretty quick. I had already recorded this video, and what's awful about the whole thing is that I thought my video was kind of messed up, but it wasn't my actual camera. It was my monitor was making everything kind of look funny, but I thought it was my camera for some reason. Anyways, it took me a minute to figure out that it was just my monitor, and I was like, I can't use this footage. And I ended up deleting everything, which is why I never put out my first one, or I would have already been done with this one. But yeah, the struggles. But I want to go ahead and start a tour of all my plants from this year. I actually started collecting plants at the very beginning of this year. Well, not the very beginning. Well, I got more into plants, if you will, because I actually had some plants already inside my home. I just didn't have as many as I do now. And I've always been a plant person, just an outdoor plant person. So I feel like I have a little bit of experience because I've been dealing with outdoor plants for a while now. And then I've had a little bit of my indoor plants and just experimenting now with other genuses of plants. So it's been quite the road so far, and I love it. Like I love plants so much, absolutely love them. They just, I don't know what it is. I just love them so much. You understand what I mean? I think so. But let's go ahead and start with the tour. I am going to be starting in my kitchen. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So the first plant that I want to go ahead and show you is this plant right here. This is a Monstera cutting that I do have. This was off of a Monstera that I had for maybe a couple years, and I neglected it enough to where it got dry rot, and I ended up having to cut it up and regrow it. Now I don't even know what I'm going to do with so many Monsteras besides maybe giving them to my kids. Now hopefully they'll want them. We'll see. But that is a Monstera cutting that has grown to be a beautiful plant now. Up here we have my golden pothos that I've had for a very long time now, say about another couple years. So I think I got it around the same time as the Monstera. And that one's always been doing good. It does need to be watered a little bit, but it's been doing really well. Then on below it, we do have another pothos here. This one is it was supposed to be a snow queen, which does not look like a snow queen, but yeah, but I still love it and still going to love it regardless. Okay, so now we have this space here. I'm sure you'll see this space, or you have seen this space if you've watched my previous videos, on the background when I do like any kind of repotting or whatnot here. But this is pretty much my very first space that I did have before I made any of the greenhouse cabinets. So this is I still use it for cuttings and for newer plants, just so that way they can acclimate. I do have a highly variegated Mandula here. This one is a very slow grower, but it is a really nice plant, so I'm pretty happy with it regardless. And also have the varicosum right here, and have the philodendron splendid here. I'm going to be putting the varicosum and the splendid onto moss poles when they get a bit bigger. I just want them to grow a little bit more before I actually do that. Then I have the linearis cutting here that I will be putting inside a pot that I already have some linearis in, just to make it a bit fuller. And then all around it are just cuttings that I have out here for a friend because she was wanting a couple of cuttings. But I do need to water all these, so I'll be doing that after the finishing of the tour. Now up top there, I do have another golden pothos in the middle. I have a Syndapsis, I don't know, Pictus? I don't know what that one is. I just bought it from Walmart, and I just thought it was so pretty. So, and I wanted it to go up here next to these others. And then over here, I do have another pothos. That one is the lemon meringue, I think. Wait, or is lemon lime or lime something? I don't know. I can't remember the names of these. There's just so many different ones, but I love the way they look up there. They grow well up top, and I've had no problems with them up there, and that's because the heater's been on and it's been pretty warm, and even when I had the AC running and all that, they still did well. Now on top of my refrigerator, I do have the Philodendron Brazil. That's absolutely one of my favorite out of all these. The Brazil is an amazing plant, does awesome right there in my fridge. I remember when I first got it, I also kind of let this one go as well, and it was down to nothing really, maybe like a leaf or two. I'm not even lying. Like, I let it go and it came back like a champ. So it's doing awesome and beautifully there. Next to it, I think that's an amplismum. I can't really tell you exactly. I'd have to look at the tag because I think I still have the tag on there, but this is one of the plants that I do plan on giving to my friend when she picks up her cuttings as well. It is a pretty plant. I'm just not, I just don't need it anymore, if that makes sense. But yeah, let's go to the next one. Okay, so now we're here in my dining area where I do have a pretty big plant shelf here. And this right here is my Thai pink lipstick plant. This is one of the first plants that I did get and I fell in love with. It has gotten pretty big and grown. I do want to make this fuller, so I'll probably be taking a piece off of this one and rooting it so that way I can plant it back in the pot just to make it a fuller plant. But she is a beauty and I hope to see her bloom one day. Right next to it are Phytonias. At first, I got these free with some orders. And at first I was like, oh, what do I want these for? I don't want no Phytonias. But now that I actually have terrariums, they come in very handy for my terrariums. So I'm actually pretty happy that I got some Phytonias now. Ring of pearls, and oh my gosh, this plant has been so good. A lot of people I hear they have trouble with this plant, and I was always afraid to get it because I thought, oh no, I'm gonna have the same trouble. It's just gonna die on me. But what I've been doing is I let it dry out completely before I even put water in it. And I always bottom water. I don't think it matters. I think the thing is just letting it dry out all the way, because I've had it since the beginning and haven't had no issues with it. And I love this thing. I've had it for some months now. It probably would be bigger if the light through this window was better, but it's not the best. And plus it's been real cloudy lately. Okay, so next to this one is my Hushleacana variegated. This is also one of the first cuttings I got along with the Thai pink lipstick plant. It's a very gorgeous plant. It grows kind of slow here as well, so I may be moving this somewhere else eventually, but we will see. Other than that, it hasn't done me wrong. It hasn't shown any kind of signs of it having issues whatsoever. I always keep it watered whenever it does need water, kind of just like everything else. I just let it dry out and then I water. And I am sort of an underwater, you could say. And definitely, I always try not to overwater my plants for sure. But I do love this one, and I plan to make this one a fuller plant as well in the future. So I have this one right here, and I know it looks kind of gross. The water needs to be changed out and cleaned. But this is an actual plant that my brother gave me for Mother's Day. It's a Anthurium, one of your basic Anthuriums that grow those red flowers in them. That you can find at like Walmart. I forget the actual specific like name for it, You just know it's like the basic Anthurium you can find at any store. But it's been doing good ever since I've had it in water. When they gave it to me, it came in a little water container, and I just kept it in water since, and it's done amazing. Right next to it, I just have some cuttings in here. I have a cutting of the Amplissimum, I think. I don't know if that's the right name for it, but the one I have on my refrigerator, just in case I ever want to have it back whenever I do give the other one away. Up here on top, I have a Clarinervium. It's a baby. Obviously, I think it would have grown a lot more by now, but I don't know what it is with this. I feel like there's a lot of light, but then I just, because I know the plants don't do the best here for some freaking reason. It has to be that, or just the time of year could be also a cause. But yeah, this is a Clarinervium that I do have. This is one of 3 that I do have. I did the free plant thing on the Green Escape, and they ended up sending me all Clarinervium, so I don't even do that anymore. This is another Clarinervium that I got for free from the Green Escape as well. And then I just have this one in like pond semi-hydro, but it's been doing really good in there. No problems. Right next to it, I do have a Scindapsus dark here, and I feel like it's, I don't know, it's doing very good. I may have to actually move this one just to see if it will do better in a different spot, because I don't feel like it's doing very well there. But I'll move here showing it. You can't even see it. Well, you can't even see it anyways because it's kind of dark, but it's a small little baby, and I'm really thinking about putting this probably in my cabinet to see if it'll just do better in there for now. Down here at the bottom, I do have some cuttings of my Tradescantia, because I'm also trying to make that one a fuller plant. This one grows like a freaking weed. Grows like crazy, and it also roots super fast. So if you're looking for a plant that is pretty, roots super fast, and grows like crazy, the Tradescantias are pretty good at that. So I think it's been kind of cold lately, and so my plants here look a little sad in a way because of it's been starting to get really cold over here where I'm at. But it's only some of them. It's not all of them. I guess the ones that are a little bit more, I guess when it comes to cold weather, they're a little bit finicky or whatever to colder climate. But now, let me see if I can put you down here. I might just have to take you off the tripod. But now I do have this plant right here. This one is my Adansonii that I put on a pole. I just extended this pole yesterday, just because it was already needing an extension already for a little bit. So I finally just put an extension on there before it got too high. I didn't want the other node to grow up above this other old one, and it was about to, because it's already coming out with a new leaf. But this one is doing really good. I think, if you can see that, you can see how the leaves were bigger on the bottom, and then like here they kind of got smaller, and now they're starting to get big again. So I honestly don't want to lose that. I want them to start growing and getting bigger. So hopefully now they'll start to do their thing. And it's doing good on there. This one's doing great here. I don't know if it's because I have a Sansi light above there, and maybe it's just getting some of the Sansi light as well, but that one's doing really good there. Okay, so up here I just have a bunch of cuttings of Pothos and my Scindapsus together, just because I wanted a vining plant there. But that's pretty much what is in that one. That leaf's getting, I think it's getting bleached from the light, I think. So right here I do have my Silver Dragon Alocasia that I think is just hibernating at the moment. It looked like it was going to put out a new baby, but I think it just acted like it was going to and never did. So yeah, there's that. I also have a Thanksgiving cactus right here. It does put out pink flowers. It already put some out, and now it seems like these others are not gonna make it. I don't know. They are dying, and it's probably because it gets cold. Yeah, one fell off. It's probably because it gets cooler in this area, but this is my Thanksgiving cactus. I did purchase this one from Walmart just recently. And then back here we do have the Monstera albo that I don't want anymore, that hopefully my friend will want. I guess we'll see what happens with that. Now up top here I have my precumbens cacti. There seems to be doing okay. I think I overwatered it, saying that I don't overwater that one. I take my words back, because that one I might have overwatered it, which I don't know. And because some of the cacti were mushy, so I probably did overwater it, along with that this area is kind of cool. So that's why I put it back here on the top, to see if it would be a little bit warmer up top for it. Then I have the aloe vera plant right next to it, that I think one of the little guys aren't doing so well. And I don't overwater that one at all, but it looks sad, and I'm just assuming because it's fresh in this area. I have my favorite plant of all time, which is my Pilea glauca. Favorite plant of all time is being kind of sarcastic, but I am kind of glad I actually have that plant, because it's been doing good also for my terrarium. So now I'm kind of glad I do have it, even though I think it's one of the ugliest plants I've ever seen. Now it is. It wasn't when I got it, but it's ugly now to me. I just it's not, and it's just because, you know, I haven't been taking the best care of that plant, because of the fact that I kind of was like, oh. The only reason why I really didn't like this plant was because it makes a big mess. Like, it sheds like crazy and will make a mess everywhere. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why, well, the actual main reason why I don't like it. But right here on this side is where I have my Tradescantia that I am actually doing cuttings of and trying to make a fuller plant. And it is just hanging there on my shelf. No, it was long. That's because I cut it, and it's still really long. Below this is my Monstera that is doing really well. Put out 2 new leaves, and she is doing amazing. She does great right there, regardless of it being kind of fresh or whatever. She's still doing really well. Now down here, I just have some moss propagating right here, trying to grow extra moss from some moss that I had already ordered. And I do have more coming in anyways for my terrarium, but I will end up putting some in here to propagate with the other moss as well. Right next to that is my money plant. I don't know, I think this one's a Pilea as well. I'm pretty sure it is a Pilea. And I do love this plant so much, regardless of these darn leaves growing down into looking like the shape of mushrooms kind of, but I still love it no matter what. I will be keeping this one and hopefully figuring out how to stop that from happening. Then I have this one at the bottom here, Spathonema, I think. Am I actually, oh my goodness, I actually remembered. The Spathonema has a little sad leaf here. This one's one that I also don't really care to have anymore, but she is gorgeous. I can't lie about that. She's a pretty one. Not as full as when I got her, but she's a pretty one. But I don't plan on having her much longer. I do have another cutting of the Monstera from the same Monstera I did get dry rot from. It does have a couple of leaves on it, And I also need to change that water out because it's kind of grody, so I need to get that done as well. Right here I do have some propagations going, so it's just like a propagation box, one other one that I have here. So next one, this is my Millsbow Wide that I do have here. I ended up getting a white one just because I have a mixture of white and black in my living room. And I kind of wanted a black one. I could not make up my mind on which one I wanted, but I ended up getting the white one. And it is pretty much my Anthurium cabinet. I do have a bunch of other, well, not a bunch, I have a few things in there, something else, and I will go through that here in a second. But first, I want to go over what I have up top here. So first off is my Patriciae, my Philodendron Patriciae. She's gorgeous. I love her so much. She's been doing really well since I got her from Ecuagenera. And so I am not disappointed in her at all. And look at this cute pot that I got from Amazon. So cute. So now I have my Tycon that I have posted quite a bit on my shorts, I think. But she's gotten really big and put out its first leaf, like that's fenestrated. So I'm actually excited about that. That means she's getting pretty good light here and she likes her area. So the first leaves that did start on here are still on there. They're the smallest two down there at the bottom. That's when I bought it, and those were the two leaves that were on this plant when I first got this plant. Now I've gotten a new leaf every month, so you know how long I've had this plant just by counting the leaves. But she's gorgeous. I do have my Frydek there. So Alocasia Frydek right here. She's pretty, she's doing good. Haven't had no problems with her. She's a baby. Here we do have some carnivorous plants here. This one is Drosera. I'm not too sure what type of Drosera, so I can't tell you for sure, but it is a Drosera. And it's been doing okay here as well. Just got to make sure to keep it watered with some rainwater, and it does pretty good. And then next to it we have some Nepenthes that are growing in here that seem to be doing pretty good as well. They've grown, especially this one. This one's leaves had fell off from shipping because it was a little too cold and I didn't get winter shipping insurance. But it's grown a lot since then, so it's doing well here. This one is I don't know if this is dead already or what. This is a red crystal that is just not growing for me, so I'm probably just going to end up tossing this, sadly, because it's not doing anything for me whatsoever. I've had it for months now. Okay, so then back here we do have another philodendron, glorious. It seems to be doing okay here from what I'm seeing. It does have another leaf starting to come out, if you can see that there. So it is doing pretty good. So I will be putting that one onto a moss pole as well. Right next to it is my Begonia Jenny. She's beautiful. Like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. She was itty bitty when I got her. Itty bitty. She is getting big fast. I tell you, she's doing so good. She's one of my best ones up here, besides my other two right here that I really love. But yeah, as far as begonias go, she's one of the best ones up here so far. She's doing really good and she's beautiful, so I'm happy about that. Right behind it is a Christmas cactus. It is a variegated Christmas cactus. I didn't think that one was going to do so well, but it came back like a champ. So I can't complain about that. And it is doing pretty good. Over here in the back, I do have the black escargot begonia. It's a beautiful begonia. I love dark begonias, and that one has been growing for me and doing well. So I can't complain about that. I can't wait till it gets bigger, and I will probably more than likely put a piece of that inside of my terrarium. Also another begonia right here. This one is the Brazilian Lady, and she's doing beautifully as well. I love her little small leaves and just how cute they are. And you can see the new leaf that just came out right there, and there's another one under there that's fixing to come out. Also, we have this one is what is it called? This is the newest leaf that came out. Can't remember. And this is a popular one that everyone wants. This one's just really tiny right now, and it's supposed to get pretty big. Once I get the name, I'll just put it on the screen. But this one's been doing pretty good. The other one that I had in the cabinet ended up dying on me, and that's why I ordered another one. So I'm hoping that this one will grow and just continue to do well out here. I feel like it's doing better out here than what it did in the cabinet. Okay, so in the back there is my chia pens back there. Chia pens is a thirsty one, so I have to water her quite often, because if I don't, she will start to act up on me. So she loves water, at least the one I have. It could be because the soil is very aerated, and so I have to give her water more often than usual with this plant. Next to it is my majestic, my philodendron majestic. She's doing pretty good, but I feel like when I moved her to the pole, I kind of stressed her, and so that leaf that grew right there, the newest leaf on top, is not as big. And also when it was coming out, it was all stuck, and so I had to help it unfurl, which I didn't have that problem when I had her in the kitchen. So I'm hoping that she will do better on the next leaf. I think she's also starting to feel the weather. The weather is changing a lot now that we're in December, so I think a lot of my plants are starting to feel that. This one is my SP Columbia, has grown like a monster. These are the first 2 leaves that I had when I got her, and now it's doing so good. I have no complaints. The only thing that did happen is this leaf also got stuck. If there's something that I can use, I think I heard someone say CalMag would help with something like that, but I did have to help her unstick, but very gently, so I didn't want to ruin the leaf. But this leaf even still feels kind of soft, so she's probably still growing. But yes, that leaf is huge, huge, huge. Look at that. And I know she's going to get bigger, and I'm going to have to put her probably in a different type of pot soon. I really didn't want to, not yet at least, but she's coming out from the bottom, and there's roots all up in there. I don't know if it's hard to see, but there are roots already just growing like crazy in there. I think she can stay in here just a tad bit longer, but I am going to have to be putting her in a bigger pot before I know it. But that is the top of my Mills Bow Wide and all my plants that I have up there. Okay, so now we're here in the Mills Bow Wide. I have so many Anthurium, so I'm going to try to go through this pretty quickly, as quickly as possible. But I do have a lot of Anthurium, and I am going to have to start off with one of my favorite Anthurium because this is one of the first ones I've got. I did receive, or I ordered in the beginning. Oh, that's why it's my favorite. But I am starting to lean towards another one in here, and I'll let you know which one that is here soon. But this is my Anthurium. Let me see here. I can't remember the names of all these, but this is the Doriaki crossed with crystallinum, and it is a gorgeous one. Look how gorgeous that one is. That's the newest leaf that just came out recently. This plant right here is my Anthurium Forgetii. That is the newest leaf that came out for that one. It's a dark and beautiful velvety leaf. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. I don't know if you can see it in the light, but you can see how velvety it is. Hopefully you can see that. But it's absolutely gorgeous. And then of course it has a new baby coming out. So I'll be excited to see what that one looks like. This one in this little bowl here is the Anthurium clarinarium crossed with Bentang Kajora. It has a new leaf coming out, and I pulled it out over here because it was underneath, more in the shadows, and I figured it could use a little bit more light. That one is gorgeous. I can't really tell exactly the details quite yet in it, but it is a pretty one. This one as well, this is the newest leaf that came out on it recently. It is really pretty. Like in the smaller ones, you can't really tell like too much detail yet, but this one's a dark, beautiful leaf. What I like, I'm noticing even right now, it has kind of like a little bit of blue sheen. So I'm wondering if that's going to stay there and stick with it whenever it gets bigger. It's gorgeous. This one is the Ace of Spade crossed with Pappy. All right, and then we have this one here, which is my Anthurium Velvet
I don't know.
Moira? Something like that. But she's a gorgeous one too. Velvety leaves. Doing really well. She's just so pretty. There's a dark hue on the leaves. I love it. It's like they're just all so different in their own way, but she's gorgeous. Then we have this other one over here that is just amazing. This one is the Dark Form Crystallinum. So you can tell that that one and this one have, the crystallinum is very prominent in this one. But yes, this one is a Dark Form Crystallinum, and it has that silvery venation in the middle. It's just so pretty. It's gorgeous. This one back here that has a new leaf, and as you can tell, this leaf is growing a bit different. It's wider. It's a little bit more round. This one is the, if I can read, this one is a Doraki Silver crossed with Mag. So that one is a gorgeous one. You can see how pretty that one is. I'm not really like, I'm trying to learn my Anthurium better. But if I am not mistaken, I am thinking the Dorayaki, the wideness. Is it the Dorayaki that has the wider, like roundness? You can see that in here. I don't even know what the mag really like looks like when it's big. I need to like really get into studying my Anthurium more, so whenever I do end up crossing them and I do have them, I can like just look at an Anthurium and kind of know like what it's crossed with or what Anthurium it is. I'm trying to get better at it. I feel like I'm slowly getting there, but I'm not very good at it yet. Okay, so this bottom one, oh, I already showed you that one. This one right here is, this one, okay, I bought this as a silver blush. I don't think it's a silver blush. Whenever it put out this leaf, I thought, oh no, I think that's a Dorayaki silver. Just because of the way the leaves are. If I'm wrong, then I guess I'm wrong, but either way, it's pretty, but the Dorayaki silver was a cheaper plant than the silver blush, so I ended up, if this is the Dorayaki, I ended up paying more than what I was supposed to, and I didn't really realize it. I didn't realize it until the new leaf came out, and then as you can see, it's got a new one coming out. Either way, it's gorgeous, and I just love it so much. It's very pretty. I love that it's just so dark. And all that veination, it's got so much more than like if you were to place it here next to these others. You see the difference? How they're all different. It is so cool. I love it. So I do have the Ferox here. This is a begonia Ferox. This begonia is gorgeous. Very, very pretty. It's got a new baby growing back here and also a new one right here. A little hairy guy. See if you can see that. I haven't been putting these up close, but I'll zoom into them whenever I'm in post. That's gorgeous. I love this right here, the texture. It looks like chocolate chips. Every time I look at it, it looks like chocolate chips. Like someone just glued a whole bunch of them on the plant. Okay, so then on the back, this is Anthurium radicans crossed with luxurians. This one's really pretty, y'all. It's got that new one coming out. It's really pretty. It's different. It's pillowy. And I love the red petioles on it, which a lot of them, well, not all of them, a few of them have red petioles, but this one's are more prominent. And the leaf is like, kind of like a reddish, I don't know, kind of like that other one over there, but it's just more prominent when it comes to the petiole. It's just gorgeous. I love the pillowy leaves. Let's see how big that new one is gonna get. So this one is my ace of spades that finally gave me a new baby. Look at that. But it's not showing too much detail because this is tiny, tiny. But hopefully this one will start to grow for me and give me some good leaves. That's how small it is. It's a little baby. Let me get out of the way. I can focus on that. Okay, and this one back here is one of my big babies, and it does have a new one coming out as well. This one is my Bessier, so my Bessier crossed with Forgetii, and it is gorgeous. Look at it, and this leaf is amazing. It's so velvety. I'm like afraid to touch it because I don't want to mess it up, but it's gorgeous. Look at that. And it's got its baby. I'm so excited to see what the baby is going to look like. Put this back there. They love this cabinet. The Anthuriums are just, they really love the cabinet. It holds at 90% humidity. Well, it's like 90-91% humidity. I have to come in here and kind of wipe things down because it starts to get, develops a lot of the water in here. I think you can see some right here on this side. Hope it's not. Yeah. Okay, so next we'll go up here. This one is the another red crystal I bought that seems, I don't know if it's doing that well, but it seems like it needs some water. This is another red crystal. I am not too sure about this one. If this one dies on me just like the other one or doesn't grow, I'm giving up on them, and I'm not gonna ever buy small babies like this anymore because I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So maybe this one needs something different that I'm not aware of, but yeah, this is another red crystal that I have that hopefully will survive. So the next one is the Anthurium Dark Phoenix crossed with Mag, and it also has a new baby coming out. If you can see that, there is a new baby. And then that's what that one looks like. It's not too much detail yet because it is pretty small. And then I have the Anthurium Hoffmanni, which this is the newest leaf that came out from it. But this one is also a little cutie, so I can't wait to see what this one looks like when it gets bigger. Okay, now we are to the plant that I think is going to become one of my favorite plants, because when I was looking at this leaf yesterday, oh my gosh, it is gorgeous. It's got like blue hues in there. It is so pretty. Like, it's amazing. It's like a blue hues with like turquoise, I don't know, and it's so freaking pretty. And it's got like some light browns in there, and then the veination on it is so pretty. And it's got like these pillowy type texture. It's just so much combined in one leaf. It is gorgeous. Like, I didn't think it was gonna look like this. I had no idea what the Dressleri looked like until now, because I never really have looked up all these plants. I've looked up a few of them, but not all of them. I kind of want it to be more of a surprise as they grow and get bigger for me. But I think this one's going to be one of my favorites. But yes, this is the Dressleri. I don't know if you can even see it. A lot of the time the camera doesn't do no justice to what these plants really look like in person. This next one I did repot it yesterday because it was already hanging over the pot, and it's kind of like this one. The Dressleri needs a new pot as well. But this one, crap, I don't even know what this one is because the sticker on the pot is in the kitchen. But if I can figure out what this one is, I will post it, and hopefully I can and I didn't throw away anything. Oh my gosh, I hope I didn't, now that I'm thinking about it. I forgot to take the sticker off, because if I did, I don't even know what this one is, to be honest with you. But this one is also an Anthurium, and it's gorgeous. I'm sure some of you guys that are Anthurium pros could probably look at this and be like, oh, it's this. But yeah, I did a boo-boo. Can't be doing that with this next one. Okay, and so this one apparently is the Anthurium vitarifolium. I don't know if that's true. It doesn't really look like a vitarifolium to me. This is the newer leaf, but when it came out, it didn't really come out that well either, so I don't know. Maybe it just doesn't like the humidity as much in here, but actually now that I put it in here, it finally did put out a leaf, so I don't know. I'll leave it in here and see what happens. But apparently when I got this, they said this one was the vitarifolium, which to me, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. All right, in the back here, it is Anthurium magnificum. So we do have the Anthurium mag here, and that one is putting out a new leaf for me. Look at that. And so I'll finally get a view of what the mag looks like as this leaf gets bigger, because this one is also a baby. So I'm excited to see what that leaf is going to look like. In the very back here, which is the last one on this shelf, is the Anthurium pappy. This is the newest leaf that it came out on it, and it does have a new baby coming out, if you can see there. It's a new little baby. The pappy is very like plain and simple, but I love it. You can't go wrong with the pappy, I feel like. It's velvety like a lot of these. It's gorgeous. And I ain't even gonna try to say the full name, because whenever I say the pappy full name, it sounds crazy. I just say papillaminiminimim. It's kind of like when I say cinnamon. I can say cinnamon, but I'm saying like it's like papillaminiminimim. Okay. Now, I think I'm just going to grab the camera off of the tripod and show you guys everything else in here. Okay, so up here I do have the Judy Jewel Orchid. It's been doing really good for me in here, and I've had it in that small pot for a while. It probably is time to change it out, but I'm not too sure. I think it's doing pretty good in there. Right next to it is also another orchid. That one is the Pitola, I think, or I'm not too sure. Maybe y'all can see that name. Or no, it's not going to show it. Let me see if you can see the name there. It's not too close. I'm trying to see. The name will get in focus. Yeah. And then next to it is also another Drosera, which is starting to grow. I was hoping it finally would. It seems like it's doing good in its little pot. Such a little cute pot that I got from the thrift stores. In the back, I do have a begonia. Is it Camoris? Something like that. I'm not too sure if I'm saying that correctly. But if you can see that, that is a begonia camoris or whatever back there. We have the Hoya Whitey here, tricolor. It's doing well in here as well. Seems like there's another new little baby wanting to grow right there somewhere. But she is doing well in here and loving life. And the 90% the 90% humidity. Right next to it is a string of frogs. String of frogs is really cute, and I did cut quite a bit off of it to put in my terrarium. Right next to that one is a tissue culture that I did get. So I can put the focus on this. It's a tissue culture that I got. That one is the variegated Vitarifolium, I think. We will see as it gets bigger how it looks. It's been growing. It was a lot smaller than that when I got it, so it has grown. Right next to it is my war queen, but she's gorgeous. Has a new little guy coming out, if you can see that. So I'm excited. That one's doing so good in here. Okay, right next to it is the Hoya serpens. That is finally growing and growing for me. When I got it, it was just 2 little leaves, and now it's growing. So I'm so excited about that. Right here is the vanilla orchid. I hope it grows well in here. This one's a newer plant, but it is also a little cutie. This one's actually a high variegated vanilla orchid, so it's gorgeous. I love the variegation on that plant. But yeah, that is it for this wide milsbow and everything in there. Okay, so now we're here on my VidSjo shelf here in my living room. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the top. Hopefully it won't be too shaky. That in the very back is my Ripsalis spicifera, if I'm saying that correctly. But that one has grown for me and is doing really amazing. I can go a little bit without watering that one and it does just fine. Then over there in the corner is my Micans, which is also doing good. I'm just trying to fill that pot up and make it into a fuller pot. Right next to it is my Philodendron. This one's doing so good and putting out a new little alien leaf. I love it. This one actually had spider mites and has a little bit of spider mite damage, but isn't doing too bad. I sprayed it down and it looks like it's doing pretty good now. Right here, right next to it is my string of hearts, which is doing very well. And right here is my Florida Ghost. I have lost a few leaves on her, but I think it's because it gets kind of cool here in this area. So I feel like that is what is happening with her. So I kind of moved her this way a little bit more. She was in the very back near the window. But I love her leaves. I love how white they are and how different each one of them does look whenever she gets a new one. Next to it is my Ripsalis paradoxa. That one is growing and growing for me. I love her. She's doing really well. And as you can see, she's growing even more so. But that one was a very tiny baby and has grown a lot for me now. Okay, so now here on this shelf below is my Jose Bruno. My Jose Bruno is growing into a little beast and it is gorgeous. That variegation on it is beautiful. I absolutely love my Jose Bruno. It's doing so good. Sometimes it gets melty leaves, which I think maybe just due to how the watering or the leaves touching the soil. But other than that, it's growing like a weed. Then we have this one, which is one of my favorites on my shelf. This one is an Anthurium. It is my Anthurium Wendlingerii. It is doing so good, putting out another leaf. That's because just recently it had given me that leaf on this side. So now it's giving me that one. So that one's probably gonna be bigger, and we're gonna see about that in the future. I'm excited. This Hoya right here, I don't know what's going on with this Hoya. It's not really growing well for me. That is the Hoya, can't remember the name. I'll put it on the screen once I do get the name, unless I think of it. I do have another pothos. So that one's doing well, it's gorgeous. Right next to it in the very back is my Lucanosa Silver Lime. That one is also doing amazing, and that one is an amazing grower. That one does not stop growing for me. I even propagated that one, and it is super easy to propagate. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous plant. I love the silvery leaves and the little specks of green on them. It's just so gorgeous. I think every one of those leaves is a bit different. Okay, and then I have my Hoya Bella right here, which is doing amazing. She's doing awesome, growing like crazy, and I love her. I haven't had no problems with her. I love her variegation on the outer parts of the leaves. Just so amazing. This one, this little cacti guy here, I don't know the name of it, but if I can find it, I'll also put this on the screen. It's a little cacti I got. It's kind of messy, kind of reminds me of the Pilea glauca that I have over there. So I don't know how long I'm going to be keeping this one. I probably won't keep it too long. But I don't know, I think it's cute, but it just sheds a lot. In the back is my Dischidia watermelon, which is doing really well, in a good spot. My Dischidia watermelon is doing amazing. I love when the leaves come out in the colors. You can see the venation on the leaves, and it's so cute. Okay, then we have my string of turtles here that seems to hate the light because it's never growing to the back. It only grows to the front. I don't know why. It's really weird, but it's doing good. And I also took some of the string of turtles off and put it in my terrarium. Hoya Sunrise, which is doing really well. Need to move out of the way. My eyes are getting blinded out by the grow light up there. But it is my Hoya Sunrise that is doing really well there. I do have two planted in there, since also with this one I kept getting the same free plant over and over. And then my cutting of my philodendron there. And you can see the micans coming down right there. I love the micans, it's gorgeous. Got some dark leaves. Next shelf, and that is my Brantianum, I think is what it's called. I just call her Brandy. But so my philo. I know I'm probably supposed to maybe have her on some sort of pole or something, but I don't care to. I know there's a lot of complaints on this one, but I don't know. I like how she is. She's different and distinct, and she's growing well for me, so I can't complain. And then on the back part here is my begonia. When I bought it, it said it was a white ice, so that's what apparently, but it reminds me of the snow cap. So, but that is my begonia back there. I bought it as a white ice, but thinking it is again a snow cap. But I don't know. Sometimes I think they get their plants mixed up. I don't know. I could be wrong. This one is the strawberry begonia, just the basic regular strawberry begonia, and you can see its little pups hanging around. I love the pups on these strawberry begonias. It's gotten really big for me, and it does so well out here, and I don't have to worry about putting it in a cabinet. It does amazing out here. little pups. Next to that one, behind my string of hearts, is another begonia. This one, I don't remember. I think it's an Angel's Messenger. But with these, I have to look up the names because I can't remember. They kind of look the same, but they have like their little differences. But if I'm not mistaken, that one is the Angel's Messenger. Because this one and this one have kind of a similar name. So I could be getting them a little mixed up. In the back is the Begonia maculata. That one you can't go wrong with. It's also a pretty easy grower. And this one is too as well. But they're both really pretty plants. You can't go wrong with these begonias. Then we have this begonia as well. It's actually my variegated strawberry begonia, and you can see how it's putting out pups. Finally, it didn't have any at all. It was really small when I got it, and the leaves are starting to get really big as well. And then behind it there is what is that one called? That one's also another one I'm gonna more than likely have to put on the screen unless I remember. Well, anyways, we have this Hoya here that I don't remember the name of, and that one in the back that I can't remember the name of either, but I will put the names on the screen. But they've been doing pretty good for me. The one in the back seems to be growing kind of messed up or wonky, but it's okay. It's neat. I still like it. Oh, it's the Retusa. The one in the back is the Hoya Retusa. The one in the front, I still can't remember. But on the side here, we do have an Nepenthes. And it's cute, and it's gotten a lot bigger from when I first got it. Hopefully it'll be putting out some nice little juggies. It does have little baby juggies on there. As Nepenthes is something I also want to put in my terrarium I just built. Have my alocasia black velvet here that I think is getting a little bit of stress from the cold. So I don't think it's been doing as well. There was another little baby coming out there, but I don't think it's going to come out after all. It's been a little cold right here by this window. I'm trying to keep it warm, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I may have to move it. Then we have this begonia back here that is always getting dry on me, hence the leaves. This one does drink a lot of water. I may have to put this one in semi-hydro just because I feel like this begonia needs water constantly. But it's gorgeous, has massive leaves on it. Has really big leaves compared to the other one that's over here on this side. This one's leaves are kind of big, but they're not as big. They kind of remind me more of the size of the maculata leaves. Also, if you notice, like right here in the sinus area, it's green. If I'm naming this correctly, I'm trying to learn all this stuff really well. And the venation is a little bit different. And then if you look at this one's red. So that's a little bit of differences between those two. You know, they have all their little differences. I also think when this one comes out with a new one, because this is a newer leaf, it's got those silvery specks. So the specks on the leaves are silvery when it first comes out. It's really neat. I don't know if it's like that on the maculata. Let me see, because this one has a new one too. I don't know. I guess it is too. Never really noticed that until like right now. It's crazy. And this one also has the silvery specks. It's really cute. And you can see like the newer babies coming out. This one grows like a weed. It just needs a lot of water. So most definitely needs to be put in semi-hydro. Okay. So now for the next shelf here. Let me see. So I do have my carnivorous bowl. Needs to be watered down a little bit. It's doing really good. I'm happy with her. The little gorgeous thing. My little one here has been eating all the flies, if you can see. It's been eating all those fungus gnats. Or catching the fungus gnats. Absorbing the nutrients. And then here is my other Adansonii that I just have in semi-hydro. It's doing pretty good. Whenever it does get too cold, the leaves do yellow on me and fall, but other than that, it's doing pretty good. Terrarium, I think it's teardrop. It's doing really well. I feel like it's doing better now that I pulled it out from the grow lights, which is crazy. So I don't know, it's doing a lot better right here. I don't have any grow lights on the top right here. I just have it on the other side where the carnivorous plants are. Then right there, I do have the pink princess that I've had in water. This was the one that I was having problems with. That now seems to be doing okay. It's putting out new, pretty variegated leaves. I hope it doesn't lose its variegation. I know these are known to lose their variegation, so I hope it doesn't. Here I do have my Syngonium confetti, which is doing pretty good here. Despite the cold and everything, it's doing good. It likes it in this spot. I like the little pink on the leaves. I like the fact that it doesn't have too much pink, but it's like the perfect amount of pink. I don't like plants that have too much pink, but the perfect amount of pink is awesome. That's what I like about the variegated strawberry begonia. Do you not notice that any plants that have pink on them, it is not heavy pink? I love the really like low, lightish pink on plants. I think it's cute. And then I also love the red behind my begonias, the burgundy red colors. But yeah, this is my Vitstro shelf. And that is pretty much it. Oh, I'm forgetting the one on the very bottom. But you see that little guy back down at there at the very bottom? That is a plant that I got for really cheap. I think it was like $7 because it was on sale, because it was pretty much dying already. But this plant right here is a ring of fire. Whenever I did get it, it had the two smaller, no, actually the smallest 3 leaves on there is what all it had, and it took forever to grow. I don't know if I open that curtain you can see anything, but it does have a new leaf coming out right here. The leaf seems a little damaged. It was having trouble opening, but it's doing pretty good though, and it's got another one that's already sprouting out there. But it's doing good. It's getting really pretty. Okay, now right here you can see that I do have my ficus. And it loves this light. This light is not a very strong light, which is why I have it so close. It's not really doing any damage to the leaves, but it is helping it grow, which is awesome. It's just a cheaper light that I had bought from Amazon. Okay, so now we have this cabinet here. So we're going to go through these pretty quickly. I'm trying to hurry up because my timing, my battery, and how much space I have on this card is not much. So right here we do have the Peperomia Silver Flex. It's not doing good. I don't know. It was out here and it was still kind of not doing well, and then I put it in here to see if it would do better. And that plant overall is just not doing well for me. It's probably gonna die on me, but it is what it is. I'm not too sure. Maybe if it's the soil or whatnot, I may take a cutting and just try to propagate it before it completely dies. But we will see, because it is a cute plant. I would hate to lose it. But the plant in the back is the Hoya Thomsonii. That one also wasn't really growing out here on the shelf, so I decided to stick it in here in the cabinet to see if it would start to grow for me. And I think I do see new growth back there. Yep, I do see some tiny growth in the back now that I actually stuck it back there. But that is my Hoya Thompsonii in the very back. And right here is my, I think it's a DS 60 or something like that. It's a Hoya. I love this Hoya. It's so, so pretty. And when the new leaves grow out, they're orange. It's gorgeous variegation on it as well. But it's so, so pretty. And then we have this Hoya right here, which I think, I'm not too sure if I have the name on it, because some of these I don't have names for. I'll try to get the name for this one and post it, but I'm trying to think of what it is and I can't. But I'll post it on the screen. But I love the little splashy leaves. And then we have this one in the back, which is gorgeous and growing and just growing like a weed. Oh, magnetism thingies. This one also is a, I think it's a parviflora. Yeah. This one is the Hoya parviflora splash. I'll bring it up here more because the light is really bright. But the parviflora splash, it's doing really well. Loves the cabinet. And I love when the new leaves come out because the silvery flecks on there are so silver. Okay, and so right here, I actually used to have an African violet right there, but I moved it to my terrarium and I'll show y'all guys hopefully here soon. This one is another sunrise that I got for free. I may be putting it in with the other ones over there. This one back here is, well, if I can, I don't remember what this one is. Actually, I think yeah. I'm going to have to put the name on the screen for this one, but I absolutely love this one. I think it's got a weird name anyways. I wouldn't even be able to pronounce it, to be honest with you. But I love the veination in these leaves. It's gorgeous. Down at the bottom, I do have begonia. So I have begonia raja, and then I have begonia amphioxus. I have my Anthurium here. Is this another clarinarium? Oh, heck yeah. This is my other clarinarium. This is the bigger one. This is the first one I got a long time ago. Then in the back, I do have the Syngonium batik. That, the name of that begonia on the back is hard to even pronounce, but I will post it on the screen. It's gorgeous. I will be putting a piece of that inside of my terrarium, hopefully too. But that is this cabinet. This is my planty corner in my room that I made. I have my escaleto here on the pole. I just recently put out a new leaf. And I'm gonna have to water it a little bit more because the bottom is dry. So this is the newer leaf. It's still soft. So more than likely growing still. It's starting to get bigger each leaf, which is amazing and I'm excited for. Then we do have some plants here. So this one is my watermelon peperomia, which is doing so much better now that I put it back here in my room because it's warmer back here. It was not doing well over there in the Vitjo shelf. This one also wasn't doing well in the cabinet, so I took it out. This one is a Dischidia. It's a variegated Dischidia. But hopefully it'll do better here. I don't want it to die. I just received this one. It's so cute. Then we have this Begonia listata, which is amazing. The leaves are so furry and soft. And I love the coloring on here. And then on the back of the leaves, you get that begonia red color that most of them have. But I love this begonia. It's amazing. And then right here is a free plant that I did get watching a live for Green Escape. They do a lot of giveaways on their lives on Palm Street. So this one is a free one. It's really soft. The leaves are so furry and soft. And then I love the purple on the leaves. When I first got this, it reminds me of a weed, but It is very unique and different. It's called a purple passion. So it is a cutie, and I love the texture and just the purple. Back here we have my Hoya chicken farm, which is one of my favorite Hoya. I absolutely love it. I love its big massive leaves and just the different types of colors that it has in there, all the splashy colors. Next to it is my smallest terrarium that I built about, I guess, heading into maybe 2 months now. But it is doing amazing. Everything is growing in there. And I don't know if you can see in the back, but the springtails are having a heyday back there. Lots of springtails. They love that back corner of the little terrarium. But that is my small terrarium. Did put photonias in there, and then you can see where I put my Pollia glauca, some string of turtles. Recently added a string of frogs, so hopefully that'll grab and root. And it has all the moss, but I love it. It's so cute. I'm still trying to grab those little guys in the back. You can see them running around. I'm not too sure if you can see them. I'm hoping I'm not shaking this camera so much. I know it's got a pretty good stabilization on it, but still. But yeah, that's my little planty corner for my room. Oh, I didn't show you the top ones. So I do have the variegated string of hearts up here. I have my linearis that I'm going to be putting that cutting from the kitchen in. And my linearis is growing amazing back here, you guys. So we have the Hoya Croniana Black, which is also one of my other favorite Hoyas. I love the black leaves on it. And this one is a very good growing Hoya, for sure. It's been growing like crazy back here too. They just love it back here. And them Sansi lights, they love those lights. But that is it for this corner. Okay guys, so this is the last but not least. So here are my tetraspermum that I keep hidden in the back room because they were in isolation mode because they had scale, and I did not want scale to get on any of my other plants. They got scale once, ended up, I guess I never got rid of it fully in the beginning, and then ended up getting scale all over again. But now they are healthy, but I actually like them back here, so I'm going to keep them back here. Yeah, those are my tetrasperma. And then up top is my philodendron, which is growing like a weed at this window. The sun does hit these leaves, hence the yellowness, bleaching of the leaves. And then I have some cuttings here that I think are looking so cute going towards the window. Okay, so now we have the newest thing in my home, which is the terrarium that I just built. This took me 3 days to do, and I have actually made a video on this, so I'm going to be posting a video once I get everything in and finish putting it together how I want it, and then I'll be making the full video hopefully soon. But you can see that I did put some plants in here and some live moss that I still had left over from my other terrarium. You see some micans in there and some of my begonia in there. Also Syndapsis. I did put some string of turtles in here. And this is where my African violet is at now. It's its new home. I actually read that the African violets do pretty good in terrarium, so I decided to put it in here. I also have some more string of turtles up there on top. And the Pileas as well. And I did put my Drosera in here. That was in my little thrifted container because I just figured it would do way better in here. It wasn't doing so good out there, so, and I noticed as soon as I put it in here, it's starting to grow. So it's loving it, and that's because I've only had this here for a few days. At the bottom here, also some Philodendron Brazil, some pothos, And then I do have some Fittonia, and then Begonia Raja that I'm propagating in there for it to grow. And then that's pretty much it for now until my other stuff comes in that I can add to it. I did put some springtails in here already and just waiting on isopods and some more plants for it and moss. But yeah, that is my terrarium. This is the last thing for this video. But I absolutely love this. It's my favorite thing out of everything, I have to say, right now. Okay guys, it's getting really gloomy outside, so if there's not a lot of light on me, hopefully I can fix that in post. But I absolutely have so many plants now compared to what I had in the beginning a couple years ago, when I was just barely, like, little by little trying to get accustomed to having plants in my home. I was really scared to even have plants in here because I know what it's like to have pests, and I work a lot outside on my plants out there, and I have gotten mealybugs, or my worst nightmare. I hate mealybugs, but I've gotten pests like that, and they were so hard to get rid of. But now they have so many different ways to get rid of them, which is one of the reasons why I went ahead and said, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting more plants for indoors, and I'm absolutely loving it. And I'm trying to hold myself back from buying so many because I need to stop. I'm not too sure how many plants I have. I probably have about maybe 130, 150 plants right now. But yeah, and then terrariums are something that I'm loving. But this is the only terrarium, the 2 terrariums that I'll have, unless you know, we end up getting a bigger house in the future or something. But because my basement is really cold, and I would always have to have a heater on all the time if I put anything down there. So I really don't want to do that. Okay guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys did enjoy the tour, and I will see you in my next one. Also, if you do like my content, don't forget to subscribe and also like my video, and I will see you guys on my next one. Bye y'all.